Hey guys, this is Chris with Omnidek. I want to thank you for clicking on the link. Allow me a few minutes to sell you on why I don't believe your company needs a bunch of different apps to become more efficient and work more collaboratively. I believe you just need an intranet portal, but up until now, you haven't been able to afford it. See, Fortune 500 companies for the last 25 years have spent millions and millions of dollars on creating this centralized hub for all of their business and business processes and workflows for their employees to log into and be able to affect business process. Well, this reduces the number of apps it takes to run their business, and it just creates cohesion whenever you're onboarding new employees or you're implementing new processes. Well, small to mid-sized companies still have that same need. They just can't afford the multi-million-dollar build out. Well, this is where Omnidek comes into play. Omnidek allows you to create a multi-million-dollar portal experience for $25 a user per month for the main users, the approvers, so we call them the boss users, and then down to $7 a user for your field staff. So this is kind of a barrierless, low-cost, no-code platform that can be implemented in an afternoon by the people that already work for your company, the people that are actually responsible for these processes. So there's no technical requirement for implementing your intranet portal. So this is what Omnidek is, a branded ecosystem for all of your business processes to flow through, integrated with your Sage 100 and 300 CRE platform. The concept of Omnidek is very simple. If you were to look at your expense report app, your timesheet app, work orders, purchase requisitions, almost all of those business processes, there's an undercurrent of flow that's like an assembly line. Somebody fills something out, a group of people probably look at it based upon the hierarchy or conditions on the form, and then we report on it from time to time, and then we ultimately get it back into Sage 100 or 300 CRE. Now, this concept, it could be applied to almost all of the apps that you already possess. So what Omnidek did is we just said, look, we're just going to build the assembly line, make it really, really powerful, and then allow everyone to get good at affecting the assembly line. This will allow you to roll out any new process improvement in the future without having to train anybody and create a cohesion of work process through your company. So how do we do it? Well, we offer this super, super simple, no-code, drag and drop form builder. You can recreate the same questions and answers on the app that you already own, or maybe the fillable PDF forms. You can even import those fillable PDF forms to actually keep the same exact experience if you want to as well. But this can be implemented in an afternoon for a multitude of different processes. So it's super, super simple, and it's designed for the departmental manager to be able to implement, not an IT level or a technical resource. Now, once you build the form, you set up workflows. The workflows are, like I mentioned earlier, it's hierarchy-based or it's condition-based, and that's going to flow through your company. But the engine itself is actually group chat. It's just a sequence of which people get invited into the conversation. But this conversation thread, as well as an audit log, will live with this document forever. So forget about scanned records and putting those things into some indexed file structure. This is a living conversation about this living business process that we can actually collaborate on. So this is what we call kind of next-gen paperless, but it's also called smart data content management, and that's what's applicable for the more business processes you apply to the actual intranet portal, you'll have this luxury. Now, lastly, is that remember it's an assembly line? Well, Omnidek Insights lets you effectively subscribe to activity on the assembly line. So two examples would be if I'm the equipment supervisor and I need to know whenever a piece of equipment is marked ready for pickup on a particular job, I don't need to see every daily report. I just need to know about it if on the daily report it's marked ready for pickup. Or maybe I'm the chief financial officer. I'm not looking at every purchase request. I just want to know about if somebody requests to buy something over $1,500 or maybe coded to a miscellaneous GL account. So this concept of just kind of monitoring this activity as it's happening is a tremendous value, and again, is applied to any business process you apply inside of the system. So to kind of show you what kind of a living, breathing ecosystem looks like, this is our live representation of Omnidek. We actually use it inside of our 20-man software company. There is no such thing as a piece of paper inside of our company. If somebody needs to fill out a form, they go to their forms library. These are all hooked up to our Sage database, whether it be for employees or cost codes or vendors or whatever. They can do this on their phone or tablet. It has workflow and hierarchy-based workflow or condition-based workflow. So I can go to this single ecosystem and approve a timesheet, for example, or a managerial report or something along those lines. I can even kind of quick search. So if I'm looking for maybe this project scope here, I can click on it here and see the whole conversation thread. the members that were involved in it, and ultimately led through this forms approval cycle. So I can fill out my forms, I can approve and affect these work processes, and then lastly, I have my Omnidek insights over here that are drawing my attention to special circumstances that are happening over the last couple of minutes since I last checked it. Well, what's really cool about this is I can actually drill into an insight, and I'm able to see in aggregate all of the different forms together that are grouped and pivoted and sorted in a particular way. And it's all based upon the questions that I deem important to me in my view for this particular process. So for example, these are timesheets that are being filled out here on a daily basis. So if I were to go and maybe drill into Adam's timesheet and I want to see what did Adam do yesterday, I can actually see what projects he worked on, how his labor was broken out. If I want to drill in here and actually ask him a question, I can do so and can contribute to this conversation here, maybe change a labor code or whatever the case, maybe even invite another manager in to review something that went on. I can also just print it out too or kick it out to Excel in aggregate. Now, this is really simple as far as just reviewing forms, but what makes Omnidek super powerful is I can actually see all of this data in aggregate. So what I mean by that is I can actually see all of those transactions across forms. So now if I want to come in here and group it by client, I can actually see how many hours did we spend on Alterman, or how many hours did we spend on this client, right? So this now lets me see at a very high level all of this activity. And I can group by any column. I can apply summations or averages or whatever I want, all right here in the screen. And again, kick it out to Excel if I want to further analyze it. But everything in my company is a data point, and we have email reports that are being emailed to all managers showing productivity and production, executive reports that let me see profitability and cost exposures and whatnot. All of that is fair game because I can build any process improvement that I want and gather any data point that's going to give me that visibility that I need. So this is Omnidek. Now, the last piece of this is I've been calling this an intranet portal. It also does extranet portal services as well. So what does that mean? Well, inside of your company, you also have relationships outside of the company, maybe your customers or your vendors, right? And you may want to gather forms from them. Maybe it's a request for service from a customer or a warranty from a new customer that we just completed their building. It could be pre-qualification forms from an unqualified subcontractor, or maybe an invoice from an active subcontractor in the midst of the project. Well, these circles here, this is the hierarchy of the company, but these circles are people that don't work for it, but they're still involved in the process. So I can actually build a portal for my customers. So if you became a customer, you could actually come in and log in to the portal, the Omnidek portal, and submit forms to me and participate in workflow. This is actually shown here in this network, where these are relationships with companies that I have a relationship with. So what that looks like here is this customer has me set up as a owner relationship. I can submit a warranty request. This looks like their multi-million-dollar intranet portal. I can submit this on through, and I can actually drill in, and I've got this nice inbox where I can actually participate in a work process with the people inside of this company, ask them questions, check on status of my warranty item. All of this now is free of email, free of attachments, and it's all in a collaborative, secure ecosystem that's branded like the company. So this is Omnidek. Our three big return on investments are a 50% reduction in software as a service once you've implemented Omnidek, a 90% reduction in time and cost to implement new process improvements. That's where a lot of companies get stymied, is that they've got too much technology, they have a problem, but it's not worth the monthly subscription cost and the additional app to manage. We can also eliminate up to 70% of email now because we're replacing it with internal chat and collaboration, as well as external chat with the rise of the portal usability. Now, I mentioned here kind of the pricing structure, $25 a user. This lets you build forms and approve documents. If I'm just submitting forms, this is our pricing structure for the field. So it's very unrestrictive as far as or barrierless as far as getting involved. You can start as small as just a single user if you want to do that, and then invite all your subcontractors, which those don't cost because they're not employees of the company. So you could get started just doing warranty portals for $25 a month, and you could start using Omnidek. Now, we also offer a risk-free trial. So we give you a 7-day trial. You'll work with us for the first hour. We say bring your forms to the meeting. We build the first form with you, then we turn the controls over, you build the other forms, we set up the workflow rules, and then you're off and running in your trial. And then from there, if you want to do some additional custom reporting or any kind of functionality, we can provide those as services as well for you. Now, the last thing I'll tell you, I definitely encourage you, Google us on Capterra and go listen to the reviews of our customers. Most of these are stage 100 and 300 construction guys that were looking at implementing SharePoint, or they were doing Zendesk or these kind of help desk portals, trying to kind of automate the flow of traffic from the field. These are companies that were starting off, went from trial mode, bought a handful of users, expanded those users, and now are building their own work processes inside of their intranet portal. And this is what our big focus is providing a low-cost, valuable application that can be something to a lot of different people and really just help cleaning up a lot of those ancillary processes. Last thing too, if you want to try it, you can go visit omnidek.com, start a free trial, and it'll schedule your 1-hour session with our team. So thank you so much for taking a look at Omnidek, and we hope to hear from you soon.